Hello. Okay, there we go. Apparently I wasn't muted this. Oh, wait. Yeah, I remember. Hi. Hello. I remember now. I forgot last week, yesterday, because I had to go to the bathroom really, really bad. I forgot I didn't mute anything. Forgot to do anything on my APC voice meter. Nothing like that. So apparently I was just sitting here quietly. I'm glad that I was sitting here quietly and didn't say anything. Or at least I don't think I said anything. I would say I'll find out during the edit, but probably not. Straight voice meter. What's going on, Ionize? How you doing? How you living? How you feeling? Welcome everybody to another episode of Tech Talk today for August 1st, 2024. I am your host this morning, Marcus Major Linux Summers, and I do apologize for being an hour late today. I took a nap not too long after eating breakfast. I was doing some work and was realizing I had to wait for a server to update and was like, you know what? I'm a little tired. I'm just gonna rest and close my eyes for a bit. And the next thing I know, it was like 10:01. I was like, oh, that's a thing that happened. I should probably do something about that. But the thing I decided to do was just wait an hour. If anyone needs a good, inexpensive, but still pro audio interface, my wife just got the M Audio M-Track Solo. It's really good. Speaking of voice meter, does it interface well with a voice meter? Like the one that I have here, it took a minute. It has ASIO. Okay, cool. Like for me, it took a minute to get mine like working properly. Like I had to reference 2 different diagrams to get it to work, and it was a mess. And it works on Linux Mac without driver. What? And it's cheaper than all the Elgato type shit. I think I paid $125 for mine. And I think the price went up since then. So like the one that I have does not cost the same as what I paid for it. Yeah, I guess before we get into the news, I want to check this out. Let's see. What should you 3D print? I don't know. I've always wanted a 3D printer, but I've never really knew what I wanted to 3D print. Oh, this is a little boy. Oh. Okay. Thinking a wall grid. You know what? To put oh yeah, that'd be dope. You know what? It would be good to like print shelves. I think that's kind of what I want. Like I've been wanting to get shelves so I could do something with the lighting before I got this couch. Which reminds me, I need to do something with that this little headrest thing. It's my son comes in and because it's like they lock in place, but they will unlock at a certain angle. And my son has done something to where it says this one unlocked, and now it just kind of touches the wall and blocks the light behind it, like unlike the other two. So I need to really fix that so I can get that locked back into place, get that light showing again. But yeah, before I got this couch, I always wanted some shelving to kind of put behind or above the couch to show the lights. But yeah, now that's kind of gone. But I don't know. I do have things that I would like to display, or like maybe create like a shelf, like a bookshelf thing. Because now I'm buying books because I'm reading not as much as I would like to read. And this is, I see something in my periphery that reminds me I need to close Thunderbird again because it is very distracting. But yeah, shelving. That's what I want, shelving. Oh, that's what's up. Print stuff. You print stuff for the kids upstairs. That's what's up. Yes, I would like to be that person too. It's like, hey, do you need a thing printed? Sure. Send me the file. I can't design things for shit. But I might reach out to Anka. It's like, hey, Anka, do you have design for a thing, or can you design thing? And then she gives me file, and then I print thing. Oh, excuse me. Let's see here. What else are we doing? Ooh, Steam Deck things. Steam Deck things are cool. Print like a ninja knife thing that you hide in your sleeve. Ionized, are you trying to create the Assassin's Order? Is that what's going on? If so, can I join? Jeez, I'm sorry. The bottom. No, but the kid upstairs is. Oh, so wait, you're like who is it? You're like the guest inventor in the games now, like the historical figure who does the inventing. Like, what was it? Wasn't Leonardo da Vinci in AC2? I think Nikola Tesla was in Syndicate. I don't know about Assassin's Creed, but my wife is saying yes. Well, that is awesome. That is awesome. Well, look, I have a few things to discuss today. Not a lot, which is why I did not feel bad about the nap, because I don't know, things are slowing down. It's the summer months. There are a lot of people going on vacation, so I guess not a lot of things are happening, but a lot of things are happening. Like, I mean, for the things that are happening, they tend to be very big. And we'll get to that when we get to the game section. I'm gonna hit this game button so we can see the display. So yes, in tech news, Taco Bell's drive-thru AI might take your next order. Apparently, corporations are still trying to find ways to save money by getting rid of people. Your next Taco Bell drive-thru order might be handled by AI, and AI may have helped you get a chalupa already. Parent company Yum Brands has been testing its voice AI technology at more than 100 Taco Bell drive-thru locations in the US, and now Yum aims to bring that the technology to hundreds of Taco Bell stores by the end of the year. Yum is pitching the AI tech as a way to ease the workloads of its staffers. Okay. Improve order accuracy and reduce wait times, all of course while driving profitable growth for Taco Bell, Yum Brands, and their franchises. But the fast food industry's experiments with AI have had mixed results so far. While Wendy's has been thrilled with its test, McDonald's recently pulled back its plans. I'm just gonna say here, like, if you're looking to ease the workloads of your staffers, your AI famously helping with accuracy. What's going on, Dr. Brandon Slug? How you doing? How you living? How are you feeling? I'm just gonna put it out here though. If you're looking to ease the workload of your staffers, might I suggest hiring more people and actively paying them for the labor that they're doing already. I'm trying to take this mouse cursor here and bring it into OBS, but yeah. There we go. Yeah, I can tell you right now that while AI will do that, well, actually, no, it won't, because again, when you're talking about the accuracy, providing accuracy of orders, no. You really don't even need AI to do any of this. All you just need is something that will recognize a voice and just say, hey, okay, yeah, that voice, the command you gave matched this order, boom. Like, why are we investing in AI to do any of this shit is beyond me. On top of the fact that, again, we have people who are willing to work in this country. But, granted, I say that, no, let me rephrase this. There are people who are willing to work in this country. There are people willing to work in this country for less than what they're worth. And I know this based on a conversation I had with my wife last night, right? Because I asked, she says, look, I'll do any job. So you'll do a job even if it's not going to pay you what it's worth. And she was like, yes, I will do any job. I'm like, okay, that's, I don't believe you, but also I kind of do. So learned something. Like, even people who are well-to-do will not sit there and value themselves more than what corporations and the oppressors will. So again, people are willing to work for anything. They will work for fucking peanuts if it meant that they're going to get money, which is bizarre to me, but you know, that's how people were brought up. Essentially just hiring more people could solve a lot of these problems that corporations deal with. Paying these people more would solve a lot of problems that employees have. Yet the corporations will just look at these problems and say, no, we just rather do AI because we don't have to pay them at all. Fuck all. Mixed results is corporal speak for this shit does not work. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like if it's let's see, yeah, we're talking about like improving order accuracy and reducing wait times. No, if it's not working, it's not going to reduce wait times. If anything, because of the fact that it's a computer, which computer may not work as much as, you know, you train people to use computer and nothing else. When computer breaks, you've got people who are working in the Taco Bell who are like, I don't know how to do any of this. I wasn't trained on this. I was trained to make food. I don't know how to push the buttons. And it's like the one time the manager is out, then what do you do? Again, it's a very dumb and unnecessary step when you could literally, with your vast amount of profits, bring in more employees to work the restaurant. I should have tagged this as labor. I might go back in the Discord and tag it as labor, because now I'm realizing, yeah, this is a huge labor issue. And it's really sad. Like, this is where we've come. Like, again, this is not like, I mean, the climate aspects of it notwithstanding here, or climate aspects aside, I'm okay with AI, but you have to do something with the people you're displacing. And Taco Bell or none of these corporations, Yum Brands, whatever, are doing anything to assist the people that they are putting out of a job because I mean, due to their AI. Which at that point makes me stand against it. It's like, look, we could replace menial tasks with AI. But until we have other systems in place to take care of people who are being displaced, if we do not have a shift in consciousness where people respect their labor, and that's the individual themselves and the community that they exist in, respecting the labor of everyone else, to where they can do better work, more meaningful work, and actually get paid a living wage or a wage that they deserve to do that work. Having AI stand in the place of a lot of these jobs where people do not respect themselves enough to demand a decent wage, is not going to solve this problem. Now, I'm not advocating for exploiting workers who don't understand how much they're worth. I'm just saying, like, there are people who are willing to work and you are not hiring them and you're just putting computers in their place. So yeah, fuck you. There are people who want to do this work. Let them do this work. And I could have sworn that was a justification for saying they're not paying them enough anyways. Like, hey, they want to do it anyway, so why don't we just pay them this little amount? But now you just don't want to pay them at all. You just don't want to hire them. So yeah, just fuck you, young brands. Just fuck you. Once again, Cloudflare is under pressure for enabling abusive sites. Cloudflare masked the origin of roughly 10% of abusive domains. I need to find, now it's at a point, and I know Inez had raised some issues about Cloudflare in the community chat, in Discord. I want to even hear on Twitch when we were talking about the bot blocking stuff. Sorry, here it's just because, like, full disclosure, all of my personal sites, all the major house, all the major Linux stuff does use Cloudflare. DC Analyst does not, because I hadn't gotten around to putting it in there and have yet to do so. It was reintroduced to my attention, the issues Cloudflare has been under before about, you know, them hosting, or I can't remember if they were hosting or providing DNS services for, I think it was Kiwi Farms, which is mentioned in this article towards the bottom. Apparently, the Daily Stormer was a part of Cloudflare, and yeah, Kiwi Farms in 2022. Yeah, I need to see if there's another company that does what Cloudflare does, and maybe I'll switch over to that. Yeah, before Kiwi Farms, it was neo-Nazi website Daily Stormer. Yep. So yeah, so what's happening here is that Spamhaus, a nonprofit organization that provides intelligence and block lists to stem the spread of spam, phishing, malware, and botnets, has become the latest to criticize Cloudflare. On Tuesday, the project said Cloudflare provides services for 10% of the domains listed in its domain block list, and to date serves sites that are the subject of more than 1,200 unresolved complaints regarding abuse. The Spamhaus post noted how easy and common it is to find Cloudflare protected websites that openly advertise services such as bulletproof hosting to cyber criminals. For years, Spamhaus has observed abusive activity facilitated by Cloudflare's various services. Cybercriminals have been exploiting these legitimate services to mask activities and enhance their malicious operations, a tactic referred to as living off trusted services or LOTs. Cloudflare has maintained throughout most of its history that it's not in a position to moderate or police the content or behavior of the people using its pass-through services, which merely use Cloudflare's vast network to streamline delivery and prevent outages caused by DDoSs. Unlike a web host, the company doesn't host the material, and unlike media sites and search engines, it shouldn't be responsible for investigating reports of abuse. Everyone benefits from a well-functioning internet infrastructure, just like other physical infrastructure, and we believe that infrastructure services should generally be made available in a content-neutral way. That is particularly true for services that protect users and customers from cyber attacks, and this is from Cloudflare's abuse policy webpage. Yes and no. I want to say that, like, maybe like a road, like they're not like the police aren't necessarily like, and I hate to use police in this term here, right? I mean, this aspect, but I mean, it's the entity that would control who is using the road, right? Or how the road is being used. Well, no, actually, no, this works. And yeah, it's about to kind of poke holes in Cloudflare's argument here. The Highway Patrol, the law enforcement agency or the law enforcement organization that patrols the highways and byways of a particular area, along with police, if you're looking at like surface streets, right? The police or sheriffs. There are law enforcement that are on the roads to monitor the roads, make sure that everybody is using it fairly, and that if something illegal is happening on this road, they're going to stop it. Now, are they good at it? No, they are horrible at it. Because again, once they stop somebody, they become the judge, jury, and executioner of almost everybody who is on the road, and it turns out good. It turns out good or bad depending on who is behind the wheel of the car on the road. It's a thing where you've got law enforcement who will sit there and check trucks if they are overweight. That's why you have weigh stations, because the fact that, hey, if your truck is overweight, it could damage the roads. So there are laws to protect against that. There are people who are out there to enforce those laws. Whether, again, they are police officers or the people who run the weigh stations. If you're driving drunk, if you're driving under any type of influence, there are laws to protect against that, because you are putting other people's lives at risk. Now, it's not to say that at any given time there are vehicles driving around, people driving around in their cars on public roads that aren't doing illegal activities. But the thing is, like, if somebody points it out, it's almost like, hey, if I happen to catch somebody with like a 2-ton bomb or some shit like that in a truck, and I got the license plate, I report that shit, and then you stop the guy with the 2-ton bomb on the road. Spam House is just saying like, hey, here are people who are abusing the road. You should stop them from using the road, or stop protecting them from using the road. We're not telling you to police the content. We're just saying, hey, there are illegal people who are using the road illegally or doing nefarious things using your roads. Shouldn't you care about who's on the road? And Cloudflare's like, yeah, we're not here to police the content. Like, we don't care who's on the road. We're not here to police. No, but you should. You should. You should not protect these people. I'm saying they're doing illegal things and make things bad for all the good netizens. Let's see. I know. But what came out during Kiwi Farms debacle is that their higher ups were in fact friends with the Nazi website Daily Stormer. It's just typical Freeze Pete shit. They're neutral when we're talking about Nazi websites, but suddenly they're not so neutral when it's someone they don't like. Yeah, again, like it is capitalism. Like, hey, they're giving us money. We're getting money from them. Look, they are paying us. We're providing a service. What they do with this service, that's not us. We ain't got nothing to do with that. ISPs get DMCA complaints. I think that's a pretty analogous. Gee, I cannot say that. But blah 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 blah. But yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, hey, somebody's been reported to say they're doing terrible thing. I feel like it is, maybe a good policy to say, hey, we should just cut this out. We too don't want bad things on the internet. Like, aren't you tired of getting spam emails? Maybe we should stop the people who were sending spam emails. Like, I feel like this is an abuse of policy. I would not want, like, if I, now, okay, like, I do run a small company, which, may or may not be in of any existence up only to one customer at the moment, one client. Where I host websites. If I found out that the website that I'm working with is doing terrible things, and I get notified that, hey, you're running a website, like, I'm going to reach out to people and say, hey, what are you doing? And if I find out that, hey, they're using my services to do terrible things, like, all right, I'm going to have to cut this shit out. Especially given the fact that, I do run the back end. Like, I could sit there and see, oh, wow, you are doing terrible things. Let me fix this as a good netizen. I'm going to adjust these things. And you come and say, hey, my traffic isn't working. What were you doing? And don't say it wasn't illegal. Or don't say that you were doing illegal, that you were doing illegal shit, because nothing I can do about that. Yeah, the fact that Cloudflare is like, yep, we just letting everybody through. Like, they paid us money. We ain't got no say over what they're sending out. Yeah, that's bad business. And I'm really I really want to know, are there other companies that do what Cloudflare does that I can sit there and kind of get behind? Because, yeah, if you're going to lump me in with criminals, like, you start getting in, people start investigating shit, and my shit gets wrapped up in there. Nah, we not going to have a good time. As a Cloudflare customer, because yes, I also give money to Cloudflare. Well, I pay for the register. I pay for the my domain renewal fees through Cloudflare for Major's house, I think, because I thought it was a good idea. Possibly, I did it some time ago, but as a paying customer of Cloudflare, I do not want my sites to be lumped in with criminal organizations, with people doing terrible, nasty things on the internet. Yeah. So if y'all know of any other companies that are doing what Cloudflare does, let me know. I'm all about moving my shit. In tech/gaming news, but more in a gaming situation. Discord on Xbox will soon let you watch your friends' streams from Discord. So if you're doing like community night stuff and you necessarily don't have a computer or laptop or a tablet, I don't know. Like, I feel like I would say like computers are very cheap nowadays, but still people may not. There are reasons why people may not have computers even to this day. But you do have an Xbox. You can sit there and watch your friends' streams as they're streaming something in Discord. Like they're showing, they want to show you something and doing like Minecraft as they are highlighting here. You can watch a Discord stream in Xbox. It's like, oh, that's where that thing is. That's where you are. Cool. I'm gonna go over to that place and do that thing that you just showed me. Cool. That's amazing. So right now, Xbox is the only service that's providing that, and it's bringing it within kind of like feature parity with PlayStation, because the PlayStation, I believe, has already got this feature built into the PS5. I want to say this feature was already in PS4, where you can watch somebody stream on the PlayStation Network. Microsoft did not have this built in to Xbox Live or whatever the fuck they want to call it. So having Discord kind of provide those services is a pretty nice feature to have. So good on Xbox bringing this in. Right now, it is available to Xbox insiders. With no word of it coming to the masses. But also, I love how the Verge says, like, the PS5 version doesn't allow you to do this. That's because the PS5 already has this feature. Like, you can watch, like, you can, like, I think even in PlayStation, you can share a controller to where the remote person can play your game. The fact that the PlayStation has built-in, well, the Xbox does also have built-in like streaming from a console, but it is not as, I don't think it's like, I don't know. I don't know many people who were using that feature. Like, it was a thing that was somewhat hidden even for me to find when enabling it on my Steam Deck. And then there not being like proper apps to do it, you know? So yeah, I don't know. It seems like the feature is there on an Xbox to stream from the console to a remote device, but it still seems like a very hacky solution. And also, when it comes to like two Xbox friends playing a game, or like you needing help on a section, you can't natively get somebody to look at your stream or look at your gameplay, let alone play that section for you like you can on a PlayStation. So yeah, I mean, it may not have been a dig, but I feel like The Verge could have, you know, maybe spelled out that, I don't know, the PlayStation can do this shit natively. Like, they don't need this Discord functionality because it can do it natively. Also, it can just do more. This isn't a flame war scenario. I don't want people to look at, the PlayStation can do more, Xbox needs Discord. Like, not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is, like, you could just accurately report on a thing, because, you know, this seems like it's lacking information. Mafia Definitive Edition is coming to Game Pass. 2K and Hangar 13 have announced that Mafia Definitive Edition will be added to Xbox Game Pass on August 13th for console, PC, and cloud. Mafia Definitive Edition is a remake of the 2002 game with extra features such as additional vehicles, weapons, and outfits. Ooh, look fancy. It also implements Mafia 3's gameplay mechanics, including shooting and cover systems while driving within speed limits is no longer enforced. Great. So we have now re-released the game in which people cannot be bothered with driving within the speed limit, which, I mean, to be fair, driving around the city, I would like that. I like that mechanic somewhat. It's a thing that I have to do when I'm playing American Truck Simulator, but it does get annoying at times, and especially when you're playing like open world games like Mafia or like GTA. I don't know, like, it'll be cool for a bit to have to work within those systems, but I guess it will get annoying if, like, you are in a rush and all of a sudden you just keep getting pulled over, or you are constantly having to pay speeding tickets because like, look, I do not have the time to drive 35 miles an hour right now. I have a place I need to be. Players can play on classic mode which emulates the original experience. Cops will pull the player over for speeding, and first aid kits will restore less health. Oh, so you can actually turn that bit on. Okay. I'm now back on board. Like, cool. There's a mode in which I have to follow the speed limit. I would like to see what that's like. So yeah, I guess when this game comes out on the 13th, I'll be happy for it. I'll be really excited. Oh, excuse me. Let's move something. I wanna talk about this first before I hit this big story. PlayStation Plus free games for August 2024 have been revealed. Headlining this month will be Star Wars, the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Star Wars, the Lego Saga. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, Five Nights at Freddy's, Security Breach, and Ender Lilies. Ender Lilies, Quietest of the Nights. Of course, if you have not picked up July's PlayStation Plus games, you have until August 6th to do so. So you got till next week. Go do it. Or next week, is that? No, that's like Tuesday, right? If I'm not mistaken, they refresh on Tuesday. Yep. It's been a while since I've played PlayStation games, or played on a PlayStation, so I kind of forget. But yeah. So yeah, 3 games that are coming on August 6th. And let's see who's up for July. Borderlands 3, NHL 24, and Among Us. So yeah, go get them. Go get them. Go get them now. Excuse me. What is Ender Lilies? Ender Lilies is a dark fantasy 2D RPG with an elegant design. In this haunting tale, you'll unravel the mysteries of a destroyed kingdom, travel across desolate lands, and take on formidable bosses. Defeating these challenging enemies will allow you to recruit them as your allies in your quest, and you'll need all the help you can get to overcome the obstacles ahead of you. See what? Okay, so it's on the Switch. What does it look like? And yes, don't worry, there's no audio. You're going to be able to hear, unless it's coming to the mic. All right. Wait, are you fighting as the girl? Oh, this night thing is protecting you as the girl. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what's happening. It looked a lot like, it looks like a similar art style to Hollow Knight, which is right here, which we still don't know when it's going to come out. We don't know. Oh, it's a soul, like unlike other Souls-like games where you play as a warrior or a mage who slowly gains in power, you battle your foes in Ender Lilies by summoning bodyguards to help you out. In this way, the game strongly resembles The Stands, made famous by Japanese media franchise JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or perhaps the Personas from the Persona series. Okay. Oops. Thank you. Thank you, GameSpot, for enlightening us on what Ender Lilies is. And now you can play it on PlayStation 4 next week. Speaking of PlayStation, speaking of Sony, Destiny. Oops. Yeah, I really need to get down there and fix what's underneath this desk. Destiny developer Bungie lays off 220 employees, roughly 17% of its workforce, with a further 155 staff being moved to join Sony and forming a new studio. Destiny developer Bungie has laid off another 220 staff, representing roughly 70% of the studio's workforce. In October last year, the studio laid off 100 staff from its then 1,200 strong workforce. That means Bungie has laid off around a quarter of its workforce in the past 9 months. The news was shared today in a blog post from Bungie CEO Pete Parsons, describing the decision as some of the most difficult changes we've ever had to make as a studio. Again, I want to point out that, and I'm tired of hearing CEOs say, this decision was so difficult, so hard. Oh my God, you do not understand the pains I had to go through, the sleepless nights that I had to endure to save money so I can keep the money in my pockets. Due to rising cost of development and industry shifts, as well as enduring economic conditions, it has become clear that we need to make substantial changes to our cost structure and focus development efforts entirely on Destiny and Marathon. These actions will affect every level of the company, including most of our executive and senior leader roles. But not yours though, right? You're good. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Today is a difficult and painful day, especially for our departing colleagues, all of which have made important and valuable contributions to Bungie. Our goal is to support them with the utmost care and respect. For everyone affected by this job reduction, we will be offering a generous exit package, including severance, bonus, and health coverage. I realize all of this is hard news, especially following the success we have seen with the final shape. But as we've navigated the broader economic realities over the last year, and after exhausting all other mitigation options, this has become a necessary decision to refocus our studio and our business with more realistic goals and viable financials. Have you taken a pay cut? How much are you making compared to your lowest employee, and has that been adjusted? What about the rest of the C-suite? Huh? So yeah, they went from what, 1,200 to 850 in the past 9 months. This is fucking ridiculous, man. This is fucking ridiculous. Cap. Like what like it is hard to talk about. Like it's one thing like you hear like every so often is that, man, this fucking sucks. This sucks. Oh man, I hope those people find jobs. But when it is something that you are hearing week after week after week after week, like the fact that the Humble shit happened while we were gone, we can get into that too. Like Humble Games laid off nearly the entire staff for restructuring, which left Coral Island developer Stairway Games without an ability to like update a game. There are people who have released titles to Humble Games who cannot update their games now because there's no one to talk to. Who are they doing? Who are they communicating with? Oh, I'm sorry, at Coral Island, they can't even release their Switch port. There are other developers who can't update their games. Let's see, to start, we share in your frustration regarding the lack of Nintendo Switch port of Coral Islands. Over the years, there's a lot we've wanted to say in the spirit of transparency about many things, but continue to be unable to do so because of the publishing agreement and NDA we have in place. Who's going to enforce it? Ain't nobody working on Humble Games. Ain't nobody enforcing that shit. Speak on it. The impact of Humble Games restructuring on Coral Island remains uncertain for all things related to consoles, whether porting or pushing hotfixes, as they are responsible for these platforms. We've been in communication with our lawyers since we found out about the restructuring on social media to figure out how to navigate this new situation. For example, we have an upcoming hotfix for the 1.1 update nearing release for Steam. We have no idea how to get this update out to other platform players, as we don't have the backend permission on console platforms to push updates out. We only have access to the Steam backend. As a result, Switchbackers are now being offered a key change to Steam effective immediately by emailing the developer, contact@stairwaygames.com. However, this doesn't account for the fact that some backers may not have a suitable PC to play the game. So as I sit here, or as y'all sit here, tune in to status while I'm playing game. What the fuck? Like, this whole thing is just irresponsible. Everything that's been going on, not only within the gaming industry, but just what's been happening with the labor market as a whole, is fucking embarrassing. And again, like it's hard to find new words to describe things that are happening, whether it's this, whether it's whatever, like the genocide, ethnic cleansing in Gaza, whether the exploitation and genocide that's happening in the Congo, whether it is the war in Sudan, whether it is, you know, the exploitation of folks all over the world, the so many people in the global south being under the boot of Western imperialism, more specifically US imperialism. The fact that, you know, in real time, in the year of our Lord 2024, we're watching a US backed coup attempt in Venezuela. It's like you learn, it's like you run out of words to say to describe these things, as more and more and more and more of it is happening. And what makes it worse is like a general apathy of people who do not understand what's going on, who refuse to talk about it, to acknowledge this thing that is happening. What is there to do? What is there to say? It's just dumb shit. It's really just the dumbest shit. And it makes me feel good, like that and a lot of people are trying to fight for these changes. The fact that unions are out there, it made me feel so good talking yesterday about Apple coming to the table and reaching agreement with those Townsend, Maryland employees. That's the weirdest thing, honestly. Like, all this crazy shit is happening, but it literally doesn't change anything, especially in the Imperial Core. Like, it's, I mean, I feel like, and as much as it is soul draining, I can't let it change who I am as a person. I can't let it wash over me as like, well, fuck it, there's nothing we can do, and just give up. It's the reason why I do this show. I was talking to someone Sunday. I was working the Twitch, the streamer Ollie table at GalaxyCon, and was talking to somebody. He asked that I stream. I said, yeah. So he's like, what do you stream? I said, well, I do this. I do tech and gaming news for the most part. I almost reserve my game playing for an off stream because I feel like I can control what I play, and I can play as much or as little as I want and not have to worry about people seeing it. I like doing this. But I told him, I said, look, I don't cover like, excuse me. Let's see what's out here. Oh, Xbox announces 3 days of live broadcast Gamescom. Like, I can care less about that, right? Like, that's, I guess I could cover more of that too, but I feel like more people, like the IGNs, the GameSpots, they're gonna cover that. Like, they like, hey, this is what Xbox is doing. Like, catch the Gamescom announcements over on Xbox. Like, cool, they got that. What I want to do more of, what I strive to do more of on this channel, in the spaces that I occupy, is to have these analysis of what's happening behind the scenes. Like, I want to know what's going on with the labor market. I want to know what's going on with these employees and how they're being treated, how they're being paid. What are their working conditions like? And like, hey, like, what is it like to be employed at a company? Or like, what does the market just look like in general? Because when you have people who are constantly telling you, and again, this is from the like, if we make it political for a second, coming from the Democrats saying the economy is great, where we have record unemployment. And then it took me a while to understand how they can say, I mean, it's record unemployment, but not in the direction that they want to tell you. And they only count unemployment by who is actively claiming unemployment and who is looking for jobs. If you are not claiming unemployment, you are not looking for a job, they don't count you as being unemployed. They just count you as just not being in the system. So therefore, as much as I am unemployed, I'm not counted as one of those who are being unemployed because I'm not actively looking, because I know those jobs aren't out there. I know what my worth is, and there's nobody paying me what I am worth to do a job. There is nobody granting me the employee protections that I need to do a job. There's nobody going to accommodate me for my accessibility needs to do the job. So why am I looking? And there is so many people out there who are in some degree of despair of the job market. So they're not looking, therefore they're not being counted. So when they report back, so when these economic assholes keep reporting back, like, oh man, the economy is great, look at all this money that's out there, look at the low unemployment, it's because of the fact that there's so many people who've been so fucking disenfranchised. People who can't look for jobs because we know that they aren't out there. So it doesn't matter to us. They're willing to count you if you're willing to sit there and bend the fucking knee and take whatever scraps they give you, as opposed to people actively looking for jobs that will pay them a living wage. That's what they don't want. They don't want you to sit there and actually evaluate your self-worth and say, I'm worth more than this. Fuck you. I'll hold out for the better job. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So the people that are taking that principle sense, they're saying, fuck you. We'll never do it because we're making hand over fist. And if you don't want to take what we're offering, that's on you. We offered something to you. And I think the more people understand that that's how corporate America, that's how these rich assholes are going to treat you, that either you don't get it, is either you break your back for them to generate more profits for them while you get none of it, and your wage is barely enough to keep you alive, or again, they just say fuck you because you demand more of them. And this also goes for your politicians too. Those who donated to Kamala, and Kamala don't give a fuck about you. Don't make any sense. People are talking about, why y'all donating to a billionaire? Like, why y'all donating to Trump? He's got billions of dollars. He keeps saying he has billions of dollars. Of course, we know it's a grift. But the same question could be asked to Kamala. Why are you donating to a person who's got $1 billion donors? She may not be a billionaire, she may not be a billionaire, but she got billionaire donors who are gladly giving the money. Tech VCs are giving her money. That was just reported on today. For responsible AI. And I'm sorry, when you are a venture capitalist and you're talking about AI, nope, don't believe you when you say it's going to be responsible. Because again, look at the climate. It's not responsible. Google is backtracking on their 2030 goal of carbon neutrality because of AI. Preaching, that's why we need to get organized, especially in the tech industry, to demand those things. Like, it's something that it's interested me for a while, but only recently, since I've been out of the industry, a thing that I have learned to talk about, advocate for, and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, as I say at the end of most streams, I did not say it yesterday because I had to run off to the bathroom. But as I say at the end of most streams, like, nobody is going to save us but ourselves. It is becoming more and more evident each day that the people that are in charge, that we continuously let be in charge, because, and I'm speaking collectively, not individually, I'm speaking collectively, like just as the US populace, especially, we don't see another option other than who's already there, what systems are already in place. It's like, well, they're here for a reason. We should trust in them. And it's like they disregard, like, well, history dictates that that's not the case. It's never been the case. Things just did not exist. Like, these things do not exist in a vacuum. There were a lot of extenuating circumstances that allowed us to be here at this present moment. And because we refuse to look back at how we got to this point, we are uninspired to look at what a future could be if we take that power back. And as much as looking at the stories like with Destiny, with Humble Games, with just with the industry as a whole, or the economy as a whole, especially when it comes to the labor market. Because again, when I'm talking about economy, I am not talking about money. I'm talking about like you, me, the working class, not having what we need to have. It does bum me out. It does make me sad. Like even when I'm thinking about off stream, when I am just reading news or just experiencing life as someone who is going through a struggle, it does make me sad. It makes me sad. It makes me feel a certain type of way. But the thing it does not do is make me feel defeated. It does not make me feel defeated. I don't feel like I'm going to give up. There's nothing we can do. I've tried everything. It gives me a revolutionary joy, a revolutionary optimism to get up every day. And if I can't figure out a way to directly cause havoc to the system, at least I can find people, and I'm glad I found people that I can talk to, I can learn from, share resources, go find other places to read, study, and embody the principles needed to just keep the fire, to keep this excitement, to keep this optimism going, knowing that we can fight, we can win. People have done it before. It's just a matter of like, we got to continue to tell the people, like it's only going to get worse. And I don't think that people understand that situation. I don't think people understand that this isn't permanent. It doesn't have to be permanent. We don't have to continue to do this way. And you do not have to continue to live in denial. Like, oh no, things are bad, but look, dims the brakes. So yeah, while reading that, yeah, I did get a little sad. I did get a little depressed. I did get a little angry, but I forgot that that's what I need. I need that fucking anger. I need that fucking anger to bring me back out. That's what keeps me going. That's why I will keep doing what I am doing, because of the fact that this shit needs to fucking stop. And man, this sexy lo-fi jazz music is not helping. It sounds good, and it really is like, it's almost like taking an upper and a downer at the same time. It's like, I want to get angry, but man, this jazz is like, yeah, man. Cool, daddy-o. It sounds like you've overcome the final boss of liberalism already, and that you still have hope. That's what we need more of. I mean, and there's that. Like, I will say that, yeah, like, it's something that I've had to do. It's something that, like, because I lost, so, Dr. Bristol, I'm not sure where you have followed me from, where you've come from. But again, I've been out of work for 15 months or shit, 15? No, it's been 18 months now. I forgot, it's been a year and a half. But I've been out of work for a year and a half. And for a good several months, it was a lot of that depression. Like, I mean, it was like that hope that I could do something on my own. I could try to strike it out on my own, and realize that when I lost my job, it was just before a lot of the bottom fell out for a lot of other people in 2023. So where I thought there was going to be a lot of money for people wanting to do side projects, hustles and all like that. Like, look, I don't believe in hustle culture, but look, if you want to buy some hosting from me, cool, whatever. Like, I was going to be the Cloudflare, but of hustling. Look, I don't care what you hustle for. Like, as long as it's legal, hustle on. I don't believe in hustling, but hustle on. But yeah, the bottom fell out. Everybody who wanted to have a hustle really couldn't afford to do the cool hustle. They had to do the, cheap hustle. They couldn't afford to do what I was, they couldn't afford to buy services for me because like even for what I was offering, it still was a lot. I like to think it wasn't, but again, it's hard to kind of tell people that when they don't understand the underlying technology. They can sit up, pop something out, $5 a month. It is limited, but hey, it was $5 as opposed to like 12 to 20 bucks and you get everything. Came from Masto, so I've seen your posts and okay, cool. Hey, more Masto people, love it. So yeah, like, because that didn't work out, it was a lot of sadness, depression. Things got really bad. But what kind of turned it around for me was the protests that were happening in October around the Palestinian resistance breaking out of the open air prison in Gaza. And it wasn't so much because of that. It was because of the organizations that were leading those movements, that were leading those protests. And me finding out that, oh, wait, there are actual socialists and communists that exist and are doing things. And like I tell people, so look, I thought communism went away with McCarthyism. Like, well, nobody a communist. If you were a communist, like you were joking, like you ain't about that life. But no, there definitely are. Is it? Oh wait. So again, like I hit a limit. But then again, once the Palestinian resistance broke out, I broke out. So oh shit, there is actually more. There are people who are actually doing shit. There are people who are about that fucking life, and they are actively organizing. There is more. Like it was at that point I was, there is fucking more. My imagination was limited. And when I realized, oh, there is more, it's like, oh shit, this isn't hypothetical. This isn't like I have to become supreme leader or something and just like, all right, it's all going to be altruism from here on out. Like, or I'm going to buy this. Like, I don't have to take charge of a huge company to start making changes. There are actual workers on the ground who are trying to do this shit the right way. I was like, oh, I see you. I see you, and I want to be where the people are. Literally at this point. That is a joke I always make, but like, no, like I want to be where the people are. The people who are fighting for a better future for everybody that doesn't require, getting to a point where we have to try to change hearts and minds to a corporation. That seems stupid and also highly infeasible, but it's like something's got to happen. Hey, I love hearing people's stories on this subject. I had a similar situation in 2020 with COVID, looking at how broken our healthcare and labor systems are, then looking at people who was actually trying to improve those things. And like, yeah, 2020, like some things happened. I tell people too, so look, I remember in March of 2020, just before shit shut down, I just started a job with the university. Was in there for like 3 months before we got sent home. But I remember I was in my office and I was looking out the window as, hearing the news about what's happening with COVID, possible shutdowns. And I was like, these shutdowns are going to happen. Like, I think it was like maybe like 2 days before the university was planning to shut down. So shutdowns are happening. Shutdowns are happening all across the country. There's a state of emergencies, all that stuff. Business, like buildings are closing down. Everybody's working from home if they can. Or everybody's just going to be home. I said, because people aren't going to be living day to day within capitalism, having to drive to and from work, having to be in an office, be removed from family, friends, having to be constantly there with the coworkers, having to always think corporate bullshit all the time. And I was thinking small with this. I was like, people are going to have to reckon with what this system is now that they're removed from it, now that they're at home, that they can actually take the time. Like, it's not like they have to look busy constantly. They get their work done and they can just sit quietly for the most part, especially while companies and managers are trying to figure out how to micromanage from home. People could do their work, finish it, and then just enjoy being at home. They could watch their TV, eat whatever the fuck they want, if they had access to it. Rest, they could sleep in, go to bed a little bit earlier, do more of the things that they enjoy doing because they're now working from home, which is a thing I noticed as somebody being in IT. I could be working from home was like, I could do my work and then I could sit here and play fucking video games. What the fuck? Why are we not doing this? Why are we not doing more of this? Nothing can stop me from doing my work, but it's like, I don't have to sit around looking bored or sitting there trying to look busy for my manager, which is dumb. If we don't have work to do, we just ain't got work to do. What the fuck? But it was me taking that thought about me being in IT and applying it to everyone. I said, oh my God, what everybody experiences, what I've experienced working in IT when I work from home, if I was sick, which again, if you're sick, take the fucking day off. Do not work from home. Be sick. Be sick. Like, don't stack up PTO or sick days. Just be sick, because you don't get those back. Be sick. It was a lesson I learned lately. But yeah, it was like when people learn that, hey, after you do the thing you were assigned to do, you can relax. Nobody's going to see you. For the most part, I'm pretty sure some companies like, look, you have to be on Zoom every day. Like, and I feel like that's what happened, but it exploded. Of course, like, it did not help. I mean, what things that helped, unfortunately, was the killing of George Floyd, where it's like, oh, people had time to leave and go to a protest in the middle of the day. People had time. I don't think the government expected that shit. Which I would not be surprised if in 2021, they were like, oh shit, we have a vaccine. Stab you, go back to work now. Because the last thing we need is for people to be protesting in the middle of the streets in the middle of the fucking day. But yeah, a lot of things happened in 2020 when people were able to kind of unplug and realize that there was a life outside of capitalism. Or it's like, you can exist. You can be somebody. You don't have to be that person who goes to work from 8 to 5, which, when did that become a thing? And I think, especially in America or in the US, I have to stop conflating the other countries with the bullshit of the US. Even though Canada wants so bad to be the US. Like, I've seen that lately too. Canada wants so bad to be the US. In some aspects. People in the US, they legit do have short attention spans. Where it's like, you realize all that freedom, you were able to make bread, chill with friends and family if they didn't have COVID. Like, you were sort of taking necessary precautions to make sure you didn't catch a virus. But now, and again, I'm guilty for this too, and I'm kind of unlearning this shit. Because I learned it again, and now I'm unlearning it. But like, now people out there just raw dogging the air, going out and just like I have to be in an office. Like, no, you don't. See, that's just because it feels comfortable to you because like you were still attached to the system. You don't have to be. Imagine a world that is within grasp in which you don't have to do this bullshit, but you are still being paid a living wage. Your managers, the CEOs, the people who are in charge got y'all fucking scared as shit. Thinking that you need them, but no, they need you. The fact that shit got done real quick to get us back into offices because we were out in the streets, because we were we were starting to live a communal life. When we realized what we could do, given the supply chain issues that were happening, given the fact that a big old boat got stuck in the Suez Canal, we were getting to a point where we were living outside of the system, and the system said, fuck you, the fuck you are. And they stopped that shit before people could point that out. And it happened because of the fact that it was a presidential election on top of that. So many people were worried about Trump and trying to get Biden in that they weren't realizing what they were doing on a day-to-day basis before this rhetoric and shit ratcheted up to 1,000%. They kept your asses distracted. Look at this dog and pony show. Forget about all the shit you were doing before. And then by the time that dog and pony show was over, they had your vaccine ready for everybody to get. And said, all right, cool, you've been vaccinated. We're opening up offices. Get your asses back in the office. Get your asses back to work. All the while providing God knows how much money to police officers to sit there and come in after the folks who weren't going to participate. See, we were fucking close. We were fucking close. But they stopped people from realizing that shit. And it's like, you can sit there and point it out now, but it's like, no, that was a bad time. COVID was bad. We can now go out and do things. You technically could have done that before too, but now you got to balance that between God knows whatever shit that the Imperial Corps are putting in your plate, keeping you busy. Now you're too tired to do things. Again, you weren't before. You had energy then, but now it's, oh, I'm too tired. I can't go out and do anything. I wonder why. See, I'll drop the ball on that. We dropped the ball on that. But again, I can't blame you, the worker. You didn't know any better. Nothing you can do about that. We just got to get back to that. We got to remember where we were before. We can get there again. We can get there without a pandemic. Just keep that in mind. Again, like that's why I have joy, because I've seen what it looks like. It's almost like I've seen the promised land. Hey, thank you for the sub. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Because like I've seen the promised land. I've seen what this fucking looks like. Not from here, not from unemployment. But I've seen what it looks like to be able to have the flexibility to work from home, to be able to have more of your freedom back. A lot of people saw that. But I feel like they took it for granted because they thought, oh, this is just a necessary thing we need to do for a pandemic. Say, no. If they can do it for a pandemic, we can do it for not a pandemic. By the way, the pandemic is still happening. just because who? Just because of the World Health Organization? Just because Biden said that it's not happening? So that way businesses can open and profits can be made? Does not mean that a pandemic is still not happening. There are people who are still dying from this fucking virus. There are people who are dying from preventable things all the fucking time. Now, I'm not saying cower in your homes. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like there are things that we could be doing to keep us from getting sick. More preventable measures that we could be doing. We could actually be out there working with countries who have come up with cures for things. Like, not sure if people knew, Cuba helped develop the COVID vaccine. However, when Cuba offered their doctors to other places, people said no, because there are embargoes, there are sanctions against Cuba. Recently, it was announced that China came out with a cure for diabetes, or a treatment for diabetes, which knocks it out almost completely. I have a vested interest in that, but because I live in the United States and they're not going to fucking work with China, I'm going to continue to be stabbing myself with fucking insulin and taking metformin and living with diabetes for the rest of my fucking life. Because it's easier for Eli Lilly to continue to make money off of insulin, or Novo Nordisk to make money off of selling me insulin, than it would be for somebody to actually fucking cure it and I can actually live my fucking life without having to deal with diabetes. A disease that's given to us because of how American companies are feeding us. So I'm just saying, there is a future. There is a future where we can sit here and do better by every American, every person on this planet. From healthcare to housing to food insecurities to education. So many things. You just have to, it's not even open your third up, just open your mind. There are ways we can solve this. These problems are not unsolvable problems. You just got to get rid of the fucking barriers. Well, that's my political rant. That's it. That's it. I'm done. I've got to go feed myself, and before I forget again, because I feel like a terrible father yesterday, I got to go feed my son. So yeah, I'm gonna head up out of here. Let's get some chat. 100%. That was my first protest experience as well, which is crazy, but it was the first time I had time to do that stuff, realizing that's by design and another radicalizing factor. Exactly. All these problems are systemic. That's why we need to fight the system itself. That's all I'm saying. Again, I'm not here to sit there and tell people what to do. I'm just saying, think about it. Just think about it. It's just something to think of. But yeah, thank you so much. All right. So, last bit of stuff coming out of this channel this week is Tech Talk Thursdays, which, yes, today is Thursday. Today would technically have been a Tech Talk Thursday, but no, it's Tech Talk today. Thursday on Tech Talk Thursdays, for those who are new here, it's when I am joined by my two co-hosts, Kevin Kev and Sinziak, as we discuss this week's tech, gaming, and streaming news with a similar bent. Because I'm glad I work with two individuals who definitely understand what the fuck is going on. And it's always good to have more varying opinions coming from different points of view, especially marginalized voices. So definitely good to have those guys. We've been on a break. I cannot wait to see the faces again. I haven't seen them in a month. I wonder if they've got new haircuts or new beards. Probably not. I feel like I'm the only one who's actually growing hair on this podcast. So, and even then, like, we've not changed much. It's getting longer, but not like dramatically, not like over a month or anything. Anywho, I'm vamping. Thank you all so much. Of course, if you would like to join the Discord where we have discussions like this and much more, you can go to majors.house/Discord. Yeah, that's it. All I've got. Yep. Geez, it's been so long. But yeah, you could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream, or you could have been reading tech and gaming news yourself, but you said no, thank you. It's too depressing, and we need some of that revolutionary joy. And for that, I say thank you. We do. And all I've got left to say to you honest people is that nobody's going to save us but ourselves. I love you. And peace. How?
Y'all still here? Anywho, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Really do appreciate it. Of course, if you like the content that you just saw, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that the YouTubers ask you to do. I guess that includes me now. Anywho, yes, like, comment, subscribe. Really do appreciate it. Support the channel over Patreon, PayPal, whatever. Check out the links in the video. To anything else I might be pushing, hawking, I don't know. Did I sell out by now? I recorded this ages ago. Have I sold out? Let me know. But until then, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.